What is the process like on brainstorming what to put in the magazine?
Typically, we have to think about what's going on in the school at the certain time of frame of the edition, what sports are going on, what events are going on, what clubs are doing, and then we also try to think of entertaining things that students might like our crossword or our horoscopes. Then we will we'll assign each thing to a page number, assign who works on what thing, and then from there, we just get to work.
So what made you want to join the magazine staff?
Oh, that's a good question. Freshman year, I took Intro to Journalism, and I had like the most fun in that class that I've ever had in like a class like that, because I don't know, the people were fun. We did like 4 separate units, or I think there was 3 or 4 units. Each of them like covered a different part, and the magazine sounded the most appealing to me because I took yearbook in middle school, and it wasn't really my thing, and I didn't know there was more. And then I got into high school and realized that magazine was also an option. And by the time I had started doing it sophomore year, it just felt very natural to me. It felt like that was the thing that I did in school. Like that was my thing.
How is magazine different from Intro to Journalism?
In Intro, you really kind of get to experience all the different types of publications we do. So we'd experience journalism, magazine, broadcasting, and get the wide range to figure out how each thing differs from each other. While in magazine, it's just you focus on the magazine, you focus on getting your interviews, going to the sporting events to get the pictures you're going to need, and just mainly on magazine, while Intro is everything combined, trying to get you to join one of the 3.
So what's it like being editor-in-chief? Like, what are your responsibilities?
It is stressful. Sometimes it's not super, like sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's like very student led, so I take the reins sometimes, but other times everyone already knows what they're doing, so all I have to do is kind of make sure everyone's focused on their goals, set everyone like make sure everyone knows what they're doing. In a lot of outside school work, I always have to like put it upon myself if anything doesn't get done in the classroom, if anything doesn't like come before the cut. I expect myself to take that and get it done. Like I'm put myself in a position that I need to take responsibility for anything that might not come in, because at the end of the day we have to have a full, magazine. But it's very stressful. I think it's really great though. I always have a good time.
So what is the hardest part of being a part of the magazine staff?
Our hardest part is typically meeting deadlines, especially if we do not have certain materials like photos or quotes, especially if we have to cut stuff that people have already been working on. That can be very hard for people who put a lot of time and effort in or trying to find something new to put in. Honestly, I feel like it's all the problem solving you have to do, because we have to all agree on design, we have to agree on colors, on text we're using. It's really hard to try and figure out how much you can truly write to put into your design, because if you write too much, then it's not all going to fit. If you don't write enough, it's going to look really empty. So you have to do that, and then you also have to figure out how to incorporate the pictures you want to use. So you really have to it's kind of like playing with a puzzle. You have to put the pieces perfectly to make it look how it's supposed to look. Because some designs you want to kind of look the same, like we have some over different clubs, and so we're trying to get those designs to all kind of look the same. So it's like, here's one section, and then all the other designs, it's like just do whatever you want as long as it's not tying into another article somebody else is writing.
What are your responsibilities of being the advertising manager?
So I'm in charge of making sure everyone gets 2 ad applications to hand out to either local businesses in the Winslow area or to clubs and activities at Holt. That is so we have the funding to actually print out the magazine and hand it out to the student body. I'm also in charge of making the advertising flyers to advertise our website and the distribution date of the magazine.
So is that just to local businesses?
Typically it is local businesses. We try to avoid chains, but sometimes we also might ask chains.
So what made you want to join the magazine staff?
It was really cool because Standish started us off with learning how to do magazine. And so with learning how to do magazine, we had to go out and we had to figure out what we were going to write, who we were going to interview, pictures we were going to take, and we had to figure and problem solve all these things out because some people don't get back to you. Some people just don't answer their emails. And so you really have to make sure you have the communication with the teachers, with the students you're interviewing. And so once he did that, it was really cool to kind of see everything brought together because you start just brainstorming, then you go to design, and then you go to peer editing, and then you do all these other steps.